So you just bought a copy of Star Deck 26 Purple Black Luffy, and now you're asking yourself, how do I take this deck from out of the box and get it ready for my local tournament store? Well, today we'll be going over exactly what to focus on when playing Purple Black Luffy, and how you can take this deck from out of the box to the top tables at your locals. But before we can start upgrading the deck, we need to go over the core cards that come with your starter deck and what game plan your new leader and deck are looking to accomplish. Let's start with the leader, Monkey.D.Luffy, a 4-life, 5,000 power purple black leader. He has two abilities, the first being Dawn 1, all your characters get +1 to their cost, allowing you to meet cost-based ability thresholds or get out of range of your opponent's cost-based interaction. The second, which we'll be focusing on more today, is an on your turn, once per turn ability that says when 2 or more Dawn are returned to your Dawn deck from play, add back 1 Dawn active and 1 Dawn rested. While the first ability can be used to build around a cost matters mechanic deck, the second ability is where the deck really goes over the top. With this leader, we're looking to do two specific things. The first is take its second ability, designed to help you keep a Dawn parity when minusing a bunch, and turn it into a ramp engine. The second then is once we have ramped, we'll use its intended ability to do large Dawn minus effects on big powerful cards without going down on resources. Cards like this new Monkey.D.Luffy are a great example of that, and a huge push for this leader. A 6-cost 7k power character with on play when attacking, Dawn -2. If your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn, your Strawhat type leader's base power becomes 7k until the end of your opponent's next end phase. This helps us not only raise the aggression by giving your leader a bigger body, but a much needed defense boost for a 4-life leader. And the fact this ability is repeatable is crazy. This new Robin also helps in our ramp engine as a 3-cost 4k power character with 2k counter. Robin has an on-play Dawn -2 and an active Dawn. This is a pretty common effect that we will lean into to turn our leader's second ability into a ramp effect. You see, Robin gets played and you Dawn -2. Then you add back 1, which puts us 1 Dawn under where we were. But then when leader ability sees the minus happen, we get back 2 more Dawn, 1 active, 1 rested. Now we've gone up a Dawn, while at the same time creating more active Dawn for the turn. So it's both ramp and tempo, as we can now play more cards or power up cards with active Dawn. This Zoro works the same way, trading in a 2k counter side for a more aggressive body. As a 3-cost 5k power character, he has on play return any number of Dawn, then set 1 as active. Meaning on play we choose to return 2, get 1 back active. Then our leader activates and we get the other 2. The good thing is, if you want to play Zoro as a follow-up after already activating leader, you can just return 1 Dawn and get it back as active, gaining more active Dawn for the turn without setting you back for next turn. Now, if you're looking for a full review of each individual card in this starter deck, you can check out our review of Starter Deck 26, linked in the description. But for this video, we'll be moving past that and only highlighting the playable pieces we're going to keep from the box, which brings us to why we're here. Upgrading the deck. We'll be reviewing 3 levels of upgrades today. Level 1 will focus on trimming the fat from the starter deck while maximizing the best cards from it, and adding commons, uncommons, and a few rares that anyone can get a hold of cheap and easy to create a more streamlined game plan right out of the box. This will also include maxing out copies of any of our powerful 2-ofs from the deck. At level 2, we'll start shelling out a little bit of money on super rares and other cards that can do the job of cards we're already cutting from level 1 to make our deck more efficient and stronger. And finally, at level 3, we'll be maxing out this deck to make the most tuned and thus most expensive version of the deck. Let's hop right into level 1. With the level 1 version of the deck, we'll be starting with looking at the cards that come out of this box that we're going to keep for the build. Let's begin with our defensive pieces, and this deck gives us a lot. The new Tony Chopper is a 3-cost 4k power character and blocker, plus an on-play that lets you Dawn -2 to rest an opponent's Dawn or cost 1 or less character. Great on every angle for defense, and even letting you snipe your opponents by turning off chump blockers or Dawn they held up for events like Gum Gum Giant, which also comes with this deck. A 1-cost counter event that lets you Dawn -2 and trash a card from your hand. Then if your leader has a Strawhat Pirates type, you can give one of your leaders or characters plus 4k power and then draw 2 cards. And speaking of events, check out Gum Gum Lightning, a 2-cost main event that has Dawn -2, KO an opponent's character with 6k power or less. Really good for keeping control of the board early game at no cost thanks to your leader's ability. And even when you're at 10 Dawn, it's good to snipe a big blocker, and then you'll still have 9 active Dawn after your leader triggers for the turn. Renosuke also a sweet 2k counter that can sucker punch in a pinch. As a 5-cost 4k power character, his Dawn 1 ability gives him rush if you have 8 or more Dawn. Now, I need to stop here and sort of set the tone for you all. As with most purple decks, especially ramp ones, we want to try and do 2 things. Slam large bodies fast and make sure powerful Dawn minus abilities are being used. And this deck just doesn't really have that out of the box. Similar to Green's starter deck with Bonnie, all the big value bodies are SRs and above. And while this deck gave us a great one with 6-cost Luffy, the other SR was a ramp piece. So since we can't get the best version without spending money, I'm going to talk about a version that keeps the deck streamlined for one addition we're going to make on level 1, and it's kind of going to be the linchpin of the deck as we build it up. So we're breaking our usual rule, but trust me, it's kind of necessary. We're going to have a really bad time level 1ing this deck. For the rest of our keeps, we can start with General Frankie, an 8-cost 10k power character with on play Dawn -2, give up to 2 of your opponent's characters minus 2k power this turn. We also have Soba Mask, a 7-cost 9k power character that says if you have a Sanji or Sanguro character with base power 7k or more, this character's cost is reduced by 5. And on play, you must return all Sanjis and Sanguros you control to the owner's hand. Now, this is a sick combo piece, but out of the deck, we only get this vanilla Sanguro, and in purple, there's only one other real target, and that's an SR. This guy's combo power is definitely further in multicolored decks like blue-purple Luffy, but given we're at level 1, we'll make the most out of him as we can. And at this point, if you haven't heard me name a card for the deck, they're unfortunately getting cut. But our number 1 rule is that with any advice we give you that doesn't sound fun, just ignore it. We are here to teach you and help you give the best experience possible playing this game. So if I tell you to get rid of something like General Frankie, and you're like, hey, I really love that card, you should play that card. Just take all the other advice we give you to have the strongest, most streamlined experience playing this game. And by that same line, if you think we overlooked something or you have a spicy piece of tech that you've been cooking that we're unaware of, let us know in the comments and we'll get back to you. But for level 1, it's time for the most exciting part, adding new cards. And at level 1, we're specifically going to focus on streamlining our go big strategy as cheap as possible. And again, as I mentioned before, we're going to cheat a little bit with the level 1 rules and add 1 card, and it's actually a secret, not even an SR. OPO5's Monkey.D.Luffy, a 10-cost 12k power character with on play Dawn -10. Place all your characters other than this one at the bottom of your deck in any order. Then, after this turn, take another. Plus, activate main once per turn, rest the Dawn to ramp an active Dawn. Time Walk Luffy is the strongest strategy this leader has, unique to any other purple deck. The way this leader ramps, coupled with the immediate access to having excess Dawn because of the -10 pairing with the leader's recursion ability, puts you leaps and bounds ahead of your opponents. And building a turbo version of the strategy to get him down as fast as possible, instead of just using him to close out games or snipe them like other purple decks might do, is really pushing this leader the best way possible out of the box. Plus, he's only like $3 at the time of writing, so it's really easy to justify. Let's just go all in. We're also going to add copies of OPO9's Trafalgar Law, a 1-cost 2k power searcher with 1k counter, whose on play checks the top 4 to search for a Strawhat or Heart Pirates type card, costs 2 or more. This Tony Chopper from OPO9 shores up our mid-game pressure while adding some defense as a 5-cost 6k power character whose end of turn ability lets you return 1 or more Dawn to set him as active and then give him blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. And finally, since our deck is full of non-counters and events, some Gum Gum Jet Gatlings from OPO3 will smooth out our hand as a 0-cost counter that lets you discard a card to give a leader or character 3k power for the battle. With Trigger, ramp a Dawn card active. After all is said and done, this is what we'll be looking at for our level 1 deck. And now it's time to take things up a notch with level 2. With level 2, we'll be taking a look at our purple-black Luffy deck, and again, trimming away some of these less exciting pieces and strengthen our turbo time walk strategy and our big ramp strategy. First, let's start by building out our stronger top end with OPO9's Sanji, a 7-cost 7k power character with 1k counter, and on play, return 1 or more Dawn cards. This character gains a rush and lets you rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters, cost 6 or less. Great to fight against the board and give yourself some more breathing room. And our ramp game gets even better with this Black Maria from OPO8. As a 3-cost 2k power 2k counter character, her activate main lets you ramp up to 5 Dawn rested. Then at the end of your turn, you're going to return Dawn until your Dawn count matches the amount of Dawn controlled by your opponent. Not only does she let you recover from turns with multiple Dawn minuses, but she acts as a third 3-cost ramp piece as long as you haven't already ramped. Playing her lets you activate her ability to gain 5. Then end of turn, when you return Dawn equal to your opponent's, putting you at -1 total Dawn, your leader will trigger and give you 2 extra Dawn, putting you up 1 Dawn for the turn. Because you will always match your opponent's Dawn, however, you can't use her ability to ramp after getting 1 ahead of your opponent. But with cards like 6-cost Luffy in your deck, you'll find plenty of turns where your Dawn minus more than 2 in a turn, and she'll make up for that gap to recoup that your leader can't. We also upgrade our mid-game with OPO9's Frankie, a 4-cost 5k power character with blocker, and on-play Dawn -2 and trash a card to draw 2 cards. This will help us filter for free while establishing an attacker or blocker to keep us healthy for our 10-cost Luffy turn. And also finally, we add an exciting comment, and no, I did not stutter. This card is so good, it's pricey as hell, too much for level 1. Usohachi from Starter Deck 18 is a 3-cost, 3k power character with 2k counter. And on play, if you have 8 or more Dawn, rest up to one of your opponent's characters, but it costs a 5 or less. This 2k counter will come in clutch to open up your opponent's board, to clear it out, or swing for game. And finally, I like having a copy of Gamma Knife in my back pocket to help remove characters on board that either have KO protection or just allows us to utilize our smaller powered utility bodies as removal. This 2-cost main event lets you Dawn -1 to give a character -5k power for the turn. The trigger, ramp a Dawn active. To make room for these new pieces, we'll again be trimming our less impactful cards. Our mediocre larger bodies like General Frankie and Silva Mask and Sanguro fall to the wayside. Same with our 5-cost chopper. Then we'll trim back our 2k choppers, Gum Gum Lightnings, and Nosuke's to make room. After which, we're left with our level 2. And by the way, if you're looking for upgrade guides for any of the other new starter decks or leaders from sets, you can check out the playlist linked in the comments and description. And you can get any new guides or any videos up to 2 weeks early by becoming a member of the channel. Plus emotes for streams, other fun perks, and really it's just a helping support, and we thank all of our current members because we literally couldn't do this without your support. Which brings us to level 3, where I can actually have 2 deck lists for you. One that fulfills our strongest version of the Turbo Time Walk deck, and another that uses our ramp to play Dawn Intensive for minusing mid-range deck. But that version, that deck, it can literally only function with lots of expensive cards. So I was saving it as a level 3 special. We'll get into that. But let's start by wrapping up this whole Turbo Time Walk build. Let's begin with our last ramp piece, EBO1's Bond Clay. A 4-cost, 1k power character with 1k counter, and on play ramp a Dawn active. He also has a 1 attacking ability that copies the power of one of your opponent's characters until the end of the turn, making him an early game engine piece that evolves into a late game beat stick that must be answered. We also reinforce our top end strategy with OPO9's 9-cost Luffy, a 9-cost 2k power character with on play return any number of Dawn cards to the Dawn deck, draw a card, and then give this character rush. When your opponent braces for a 10-cost Luffy turn, expecting you to clear your own board, you can just throw one of these down, smash into them with full force of your board, and then replace itself with a new card in hand. And of course, to put these in, we need to take stuff out. 4-cost Frankie gets outclassed by our EBO2 Bond Clay. And we shave a bit of our 2k power for 9-cost Luffy, who will end up replacing himself anyway. Which gives us our first level 3 deck list. As always, some of these ratios can and should be played with. Now for our second deck. This deck, like I said, it's very Dawn intensive. It's more of a mid-range deck. It's all about ramping to your 6 and your 9 Dawn turns as fast as possible while working to recover Dawn on your very Dawn intensive turns for minusing. I'm talking about minusing like 4 to 6, I almost did it, I don't know how to do it, 6 Dawn in one turn, no cap. This version revolves around the 6 Dawn slot, utilizing our starter deck's 6-cost Luffy along with EBO2's 6-cost Luffy. A 7k power character with Rush if your opponent has 5 or more Dawn and your leader is multicolored. He also features a 1 attacking once per turn ability that lets you return 2 active Dawn and take your own life to set him as active. With these 2 cards, we're able to keep our leader's power high while pressuring multiple large attacks over and over. And with the addition of OPO8's Pudding, it helps us keep our Dawn up by doing Dawn Restoration instead of Dawn Ramping, and it's a sizable body to throw Dawn on and keep swinging in. Plus, Black Maria absolutely levels up this build to another level. We are going to be minusing so much that her recursion is always going to be huge. We'll also bring back Frankie here to utilize him for some extra installation as a blocker while filtering a lot of our non-counter. And we pour a little more value into card selection when it comes to this deck by playing When You're at Sea, You Fight Pirates, a top 3 searcher that lets you search for a Strawhat Pirates, Kid Pirates, or Heart Pirates type card. With trigger, activate main. Because we're not doing anything typically on our first turn and our leader recurs 1 Dawn often, it's really good to use that extra Dawn whenever possible to sculpt the perfect sequence for this build. Plus, we still keep a Time Walk Luffy tucked in our back pocket, just in case our opponent leaves himself open and we can snipe them for the win. This is the level 3 mid-range version of this deck that I've landed on currently after playing with some local purple-black Luffy players. And that's it for our upgrade guide for Starter Deck 26. Let us know if we missed anything, and if you're looking for more great One Piece content, check out the channel and subscribe.